Hello, hi, everyone. As you can see from my title, this is what we're going to be talking about today. So, the Lord wanted me to come on here and be live. So, yeah, we're going to talk about faithfulness and obedience. And pretty much that's just what the Lord has been showing me about faithfulness and obedience. Is basically it's the commodity of the kingdom. Without faith it is impossible to please God. And he's also reminded me of the verse, faith without works is dead. And to me, obviously, we need to have faith in the Lord, to take him at his word, to understand his character and his nature, understand that everything that he has for us is good and it's what's best for us. And having that faithfulness to trust him even when things don't always look appealing or look good, if you will. Trusting him in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the storm, and allowing yourself to be faithful to him as he's being faithful to you, and knowing that he's not going to put you to shame and he's not going to lead you astray. He's going to take you exactly where he needs to take you, where he wants to take you, and you allowing yourself to just be laid down, to die to yourself, and just allow him to lead you, and not just focusing on the things that you want, when you want it, and how you want it, because that's not how things work. And I am definitely living proof of that. Like, I've been saved for 13 years last week. So yeah, I've been saved 13 years last week. So December 15, 2010 is when I got saved. So I'm now a teenager. I'm now a teenager in the spirit. Yeah, whatever. But I've definitely learned a lot about just seeing the fruit of being faithful and being obedient to him, especially during my time of traveling between here and Los Angeles, being in a place where I did not know anyone, and I had no ties to anyone, well, when I first got there at least, and having to trust the Lord 100%, having to trust his voice and trust his leading. And when I trusted him, he provided. And when I didn't trust him, I saw the consequences of those choices. So, one thing he is reminding me of is that our faithfulness and our obedience to him not only affects us, but it affects everyone else around us. I'm reminded of, back in the summer of 2015 was probably one of my worst summers ever, really. And the Lord just had me share like all these different prophetic words and all these different YouTube videos and everything. And I was watching this video for Bethel. It was Wonder, the spontaneous song with Amanda Cook. And the Lord gave me a prophetic word to share in the comments. And that was that. And this was the summer of 2015. And then the fall of 2017, he sent me back to Los Angeles. So I pretty much from 2013 to 2019, I had been traveling back and forth between here and Los Angeles. So I think I was out there at least once a year. Well, in 2017, I was out there twice. So I was out there for a week, like right after my birthday, in 2017, and then I was out there for 4 months toward the end of the year. So, but yeah, so when I was out there fall 2017. I ended up staying with a group of guys for like a week. And one of the guys, he went to a Bible college out there called Biola. And there was a girl that he grew up with, and she was attending Biola. And the guys, they held a small group. And so he invited the girl and her roommate. They both came. And the roommate, she was from New Jersey. And in group, she shared her testimony of how the Lord led her from New Jersey to Los Angeles. And, you know, and it was a move that she just wasn't sure of, because, again, like that is a huge move. That's a huge decision to make. And you want to obviously you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, that you're, you know, on the path, you're in the Lord's will, and you're doing what he wants you to do. And so she was praying, and then the Lord led her. He said, I want you to watch this video. And the video was Wonder. And she's watching it, and then she goes down to the comment section, and she's reading all the comments. And in group, like, she took a screenshot of the comment that I left. And she was reading it, and that comment actually gave her confirmation to move to California to go to Biola. And so she's reading this comment in group, mind you, and I'm just laughing. And everyone's like trying to figure out like what's going on, why is he laughing? And after she was done, I asked her who wrote that comment. She looked at the screenshot and she saw my picture next to the comment, and she said, "It was you?" I was like, "Yep, it was me." And she and I were sitting right next to each other. And at that time, I was like, "Lord, you've been sending me out here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing." I had no clue what I was doing. Is this really do you really want me out here right now? And that was in confirmation for me, knowing, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And because of my faithfulness, because of the seed that I had sown, the seed that I had sown, try saying that 3 times fast. Because of the seed that I've sown back in the summer 2015, which was one of my worst summers ever, the Lord still used me in spite of myself. And it helped someone on the other side of the country who I had never met. And she actually commented, you know, on that, and I never saw her comment. But my obedience in that time helped someone move forward in what the Lord had for them. And then she ended up going to BSSM. She met her husband, and they have a baby, and now they live somewhere here in Texas. And it all started from that prophetic word that I shared on a random YouTube video. And I have so many testimonies of, you know, me trusting the Lord in situations, just sharing prophetic word, or going here or going there, trusting in him, and just seeing the fruit of that, and seeing him show up not only in my life but in other people's lives, because I chose to lay myself down and be obedient to him. You know, I've seen people's lives being transformed, and there's someone who I'm thinking of right now who is actually very well known, who ended up rededicating their life to the Lord. And the Lord showed me that in some ways I'm kind of a part of that, you know. Anyone who knows me, they heard this story before. I can't really share it here. Well, I can't go into full details, but yeah, I mean, I've seen people's lives change because I chose to say yes to the Lord, and I chose to lay myself down, and I chose to be faithful to him, despite what things look like, despite what I may be losing or how things may look for me in the natural. It's not about me. It's about someone knowing who Christ is, someone knowing who Jesus is, knowing him as a redeemer, as a provider, as faithful, as a father, as a comforter. I take it seriously when I'm wherever I go. I know that is an assignment, and that there's something specific, not only for me to give, but something for me to give, because wherever I go, I know that I'm there to serve. Whatever it is that the Lord wants me to release. Maybe it is just, if it's like a church or whatever, like walking the perimeters or walking through the aisles of the sanctuary, like that. Like, through that, I mean, that is serving in a way. Like, going back to the Los Angeles thing, like, the reason why the Lord sent me out there was to take territory back. He sent me out there to prayer walk, basically, and I was all over Los Angeles. I was in Burbank, Santa Monica, Venice, where else? West Hollywood, Studio City, Sherman Oaks, Los Feliz, I was all over the place. Downtown LA. And a lot of it was intentionally prayer walking. Other times it wasn't, but I knew that in that time, like, I'm still, like, meditating on the Lord. I'm thinking about, okay, where am I going to go next? Or what am I going to do next? Or whatever. Regardless, I knew that obviously I was there for a reason, for a mission. I thought I was there for a different reason. Didn't have a grid for, regional warfare. Because when I first went, I was only 3 years old. I was only 3 years old in the spirit. I had no grid for that. Lord said he wants to establish me out here, and he wants me to go to school. Didn't open the door for me. That'll probably come up later. But as for right now, that ain't happening. So, my mind, I'm thinking more about, okay, I'm going to school for musical theater. I'm going to be established here. That's not happening. I know. You are here to take territory back. You are here to prayer walk. You are here to till the lands for revival. That's why you're here. If I had known that, but it's whatever. But even outside of that, like, there are so many other situations, like, I'm reminded back in 2012, like, the Lord had, November 1st, 2012, the Lord had released me to, pursue entertainment, because I laid that down, like, when I first got saved, and I got connected to Rob Skiba, and I had a meeting with him, and his heart was about, among many other things, his heart was definitely about Jesus being glorified through entertainment. And he told me about CMA, and at the time, I don't know why I'm sure he said they meet quarterly. I thought they met weekly. So I'm like, okay, every week, I'm like, I can't make it to I didn't tell him, because obviously, but to myself, I'm like, I can't make it, Lord, I want to go. I'm like, he's like, not yet. But then, I can't remember, was it, I had to be like, maybe late May, early June? I know it was definitely early summer of 2013. Yeah, it was definitely early summer 2013. The Lord released me. Okay, now you can finally go. You can finally go to... And at the time, when AMTC was around, Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ, CMA met in the AMTC building. And I finally went, and I realized, oh, it's not a CMA meeting, it's a Bible study. And that night, they were actually talking about a film, 8 days, and the Lord said, I want you to be a part of this film. Like, oh my gosh. I literally walked in the room. I didn't know anybody. I'm just like, the Lord just told me to come. Here we are. Hi. And I got to be a part of a faith-based film. And I got to see the Lord show up in mighty ways. If anyone knows anything that happened while we were on that film, you know that film actually is about human trafficking. And the film was directed by Yaku Boyens, written by Philippa Boyens, and it's based on true events, and it follows this girl who's sold into human trafficking by a couple of people she went to school with. And she's in there for 8 days, and her mom is trying to find her and trying to save her. But while we were filming, while we were at the motel, we had Homeland Security on set, okay, to film the raid scene, to save the girls. We had to shut down filming. We had to shut it down because just 2 doors down from where we were filming, they got a call about a girl that they were looking for. And they rescued her while we were filming the thing that was going on. Let me, faithfulness and obedience, okay? Faithfulness and obedience. You will get to see the Lord move in mighty ways. And again, I have so many stories about this where I literally just go to one place because the Lord said go, and crazy stuff happens. Crazy stuff happens. So, I don't know if there's what else do you want me to share, Lord? Because now I'm just like, I'm just drawing blank, but obviously I'm drawing blank because he's like, okay, we're done talking about this now. Now he wants to, I guess, prophesy. So. Excuse me. So. Cool. So yeah, as we are embarking on 2024, on a new year, the Lord, he just wants to do a lot of new things. I see he's definitely shifting a lot of people, those who have been faithful, who have been obedient, those who have really laid themselves down, who have chosen to say yes to the Lord despite what things look like, despite a higher paying job, despite, you know, a relationship that may look good on paper, despite the perfect home, the perfect car, whatever, choosing to follow the Lord despite those shiny things being held in front of you. The Lord said he's going to give you all those things and more. The Lord is saying that he is going to reward you for your faithfulness. Remember that faithfulness and obedience to the Lord is the commodity of the kingdom. That is how we receive everything that he has for us. Not only that, that is how we move into the next level that the Lord has for us. And that is also how we are able to impact everyone else around us. And in that, you can only say, this was the Lord. The Lord did this. I showed up. I opened my mouth. I laid myself down. And the Lord showed up. And only he could have done this, because I didn't have the means. I didn't have the resources to do this. I didn't have what the world said I should have in order to obtain this thing, or in order to get this or that. The Lord is about to show up in mighty and powerful ways in your life for those who have really stuck it out, for those who have been in the trenches, for those who have said, I will follow you regardless of what the people have said. There are many people who have chosen to leave, who've chosen to reject you, people who have chosen to curse you. I'm talking about people in the church. People who have chosen to go left when you chose to go right. And the Lord's going to reward you for that. Not only that, He's going to show them this is what it looks like when you are faithful and obedient. He's about to prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Any people who rejected you, who turned against you, who put their mouths on you, who, hugged you in public, but they cursed you in the back. He is about to show up strong and mightily for those who were faithful and obedient, despite the circumstances, despite the outcomes, despite the storm and the chaos that was around you. You chose to say, I will follow you because I know you have what's best for me. So that is what He's doing. That is what He's doing. So for those who were faithful and obedient, who said yes, no matter what it looks like, no matter what they may say, no matter what was done against you, no matter what, I'm following you. He's rewarding those who've had dove's eyes. He's rewarding those who've had dove eyes for Him. And it's coming now. It's coming now. And take this and allow the Lord to speak to you personally for what that means for you. Because I'm saying it's coming now, but remember that we prophesy in part. And so now could mean right now, like in this instant right now. It could be in 3 days. It could be in 3 weeks. It could be just depending on the person, depending on who it is, who it's for. So there's that. And also see another group of people. I just see like a lot of like I'm just seeing couples, and I'm seeing relationships, and like I'm seeing like a couple like in like a white room, like it's literally like a box, and I see blood just like pouring down and just covering the white, and so it's basically just overtaking the room. But the Lord is saying that it is actually not Jesus's blood. That as the blood is pouring out and is covering the room, the couple in the center, they're becoming more and more pale and gaunt, and He's saying that that's their blood, that they have pretty much set themselves inside of a trap. And the Lord is saying that He is bringing you out of that trap. He's bringing you out because you have asked for His perfect will for your life, and your perfect will is not that relationship. And I don't know if it's a marriage, I don't know if it's a friendship, if it's a business partnership, or whatever it is. But the Lord is saying that I did not put you there. You put yourself there. And this was something that was orchestrated by the enemy to take you out. And the Lord is saying that yes, relationships are work, that you do need to work at it, that there is compromise, that there is a place of learning and growing how to communicate as a unit and all of that, but it should never be exhausting. remember that whatever comes to us, and I talk whenever I talk about specifically the prophetic, I always reference John 10:10, that the thief, the enemy, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But Jesus, he has come that we may have life and life more abundantly. Anything that is brought in our lives, if it does not bring forth life, joy, peace, anything that is of the fruit of the Spirit, it is death. Anything that is brought in our lives and that's spoken, if it does not render any of those, any fruit of the Spirit of what I said, love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, long-suffering, and self-control, if it does not render any of those fruits, it is not of the Lord. And relationships, that is no different. If any type of relationship, if you are feeling like drained, exhausted, like you feel like death, and that, it's more than likely not from the Lord. Either A, it's not from the Lord, or B, you're going through inner healing and deliverance. Because if it is of the Lord and you feel exhausted like that, then that person was put in your life so you may be delivered of whatever you partnered with that is demonic. But outside of that, if it's not from the Lord, it's death. Because it's meant to steal, kill, and destroy you. So the Lord, he is breaking, he's breaking some things. But he's doing it because you asked for, he's doing it because you asked for his perfect will. And whomever you have yoked yourself with, whomever the enemy orchestrated for you to be linked with, who you're currently linked with, it's not of the Lord. And the Lord's been telling you it's not of him. He's told you through many people around you. And I want to be careful, especially when it comes to, like, you know, stuff like marriage, because, like, there's certain things you should not, I'm going to preface that first, like, there's certain things you just should not, you know, obviously. But I know that I'm not going to say anything that the Lord doesn't want me to say, and that was the first word that came out. So, obviously, the Lord wanted me to say that. So I just want to be obedient, and I also, because I know that's something, I know, okay, but sometimes things happen, and sometimes you end up yoking yourself with somebody who the Lord said, no, I didn't tell you to marry this person, I didn't tell you to be laid up with this person, this is what you wanted, because you wanted what you want when you want it, how you want it. And the reasons why you even are with this person aren't even pure anyway. But yeah, I just see, I don't know, I see like either like three or four couples or relationships, and again, I don't know if they're, again, they could be friendships, they can be marriages, they can be just relationships between from just dating to like being engaged or being married. They can, or yeah, you know what I'm saying. Or they could be business partnerships, whatever type of relationship it is. I see like 3 or 4, and the Lord wants you to go your separate ways because you have 2 separate paths, you're on 2 separate life stages, and the Lord wants you yoked with the people that he desires to be in your life. And again, I'm going to stress that you asked for his perfect will. So if you're asking for his perfect will, he's going to show you what it's not. And especially if you are outside of his will and you're outside of the places that he wants you to be. Like I see, like, even people even outside of, like, geographically outside of where the Lord wants them to be. Like, even when you were where you were geographically supposed to be, you were still under his grace and under a hedge of protection. But when you even moved out of that, he's like, look, like, you weren't in my will before, but at least you're protected now. And I see people have, I see within that, like, people who have geographically moved out of that hedge of protection. I see, like, things really falling apart, like, obviously starting in the spirit, and then slowly but surely moving into the natural. And the Lord, he just wants to bring you back home. He wants to bring you back under his hedge of protection, under his covering, and he wants you to submit to the authority that he's placed before you, the authority that he desires for you to have. He wants you to submit to the authority that he has chosen for you. Not what you want, but what he wants, because he knows the things that you need in order to grow and really walk in the fruit and the fullness that he has for you, the abundant life that he has chosen for you. And he wants you to let go of control, let go of holding things so tightly, because that is also what is killing you and your partner, is because you are not willing to just let go. And if you don't let go, then it's not going to be good. It's going to end the way that the enemy wants it to end, with you, trying to be careful what I say, because, don't want to be flagged either, so I'm yielding to the Lord. So I put a guard over, I've asked the Lord, do not allow me to speak, do not allow me to say anything that is outside of what you want me to say. Like, it's to the point where I can't even fathom thoughts that are outside of what he wants me to think, or, like, because I take this seriously. Like, this is, being a prophet, I take that seriously. But yeah, the Lord is continuing to bring me back to, like, this coupling, that he just wants to give you life. And I feel like once you really surrender, you will see God's faithfulness. You will see him as a father. You will see him as a provider. You will see him as faithful. You will see him as true. You will see him as not only that, but the people who've been praying for you, the people who've been standing in the gap for you, the people who you may have even X'd out of your life, who you know are 100% for you, people who you actually have a heart for, who your heart is actually beating for, your heart is actually turned towards, I see. Like, those are the people who the Lord's called you to walk with. Those are the people, because the Lord would not have them pray for you, contact you, reach out to you in the way that they have, if they were not meant to walk with you. I see, like, a few of these couplings, like, there are people who are on the outside who have been praying and contending. And the Lord said, this is someone who I want you to walk with. This is someone who I want you to do life with. This is someone who I'm bringing in close to you. Like, this is someone who I'm calling you to be either the Jonathan to your David, or, whatever couples I'm in. But I hear specifically Jonathan and David, but it could be closer than that, it depends on the coupling. I don't know, So yeah, I don't know. I'm just listening to the Lord. So what else do you want to say? Yeah. But yeah, I just see the Lord just turning everything upside down, and the Lord removing and ripping everything out that you've placed in your life that's not of Him and that's not for Him. Even I see even like physical and material stuff, things that you have signed your name to, like contracts and deeds and stuff like that. Like I see the Lord ripping those things out. Like, this is not what I've called you to. This is not what I have for you. And I don't want you to have this, because this is outside of my will for you. This is outside my perfect will for you. And don't take that as the Lord doesn't want you to have nice things. Take that as a guard, as a father saying, I have what was best for you, and I have something better than what you can accumulate, what you can build out of your own hands. And when you allow Him to really give you the things that He has for you, it's going to come easy, it's going to be quick, and you're going to know that it is going to bring forth life. Because the things that you have been building on your own, you have been literally pulling your hair out to keep it. Because whatever you have to build on your own, guess what? You have to sustain it on your own. And we as followers of Christ, we're not meant to just build on our own. We're meant to build with the Father. And when we build with the Father, there's a blessing, there's a covering, and in that, in Him, it's able to be sustained. And it's able to be sustained in a right way, in a proper way, in a way that's going to last, not only for us, but for the generations following it. Cool. What else, Lord? Yeah, and the Lord wants to jump back to the people who are faithful and obedient. The Lord's just going to restore everything that's been lost, everything that's been cut out. I see relationships coming back. I see the Lord really restoring even material things you haven't even asked for, things that you obviously need, that you already have. But the Lord's saying, no, I'm going to give you even better than that. I'm going to give you even better. I'm going to give you a better living situation. I'm going to give you a better car. I'm going to give you, and sometimes like, oh, this is like prosperity, some material things. It's not about like prosperity, having nice, like the Lord wants us to have nice things, but really it's all about showing the body what it looks like when you are faithful to Him. And not only that, having the means and the resources to not only let yourself be blessed, but also be able to bless others. And that's what it's really about. The Lord is blessing the faithful and obedient to be able to be a blessing to others, to help pull others up out of the ashes, out of the ruins, out of the muck, and put them up in a way that helps them so they can move forward and do the same thing. Because we're all meant to do the same thing. We're all meant to advance the kingdom, and we're all meant to do it together. Jesus' prayer was that we were one just as He and the Father are one, and we can't be one if we are against each other. And also those who have been faithful and obedient, the Lord's going to raise you up. He's going to raise you up to correct those who have been holier than thou. Correct those who have cursed you and others, and show them, hey, this is not who God is. This is not who the Lord is. We are meant to build each other up. We're meant to celebrate each other. We're meant to edify each other. We are meant to advance this kingdom together. And we cannot advance the kingdom together if we are against each other. And if we are against each other because of things that, like, for me in particular, like, there have been so many times where I've just walked into a room I just walked into a room and I can already feel people being offended because I just walked into a room. Like, I didn't do anything. I just literally walked into a room. And people were just like upset. You know, like, why are you upset? Because they're manifesting. When you are someone who's really laid your life down and you really have chosen to be faithful and obedient to the Lord and to meet with Him and allow Him to make you who you are supposed to be, people are going to notice that. And people are going to like, I want that too. But they're going to look at you like, why him? Why her? I've been here longer than they have. Because we sit up and we compare ourselves to one another instead of celebrating each other and being inspired by one another. Like, oh, that's awesome. If the Lord did that in you, awesome. This is what He's done in me. And He wants to move us into a place where we are not comparing ourselves to one another, where we are not so focused on what we don't have, and we want some. You can't have what I have. You can't have what I have. Because what I have is specifically for me. It was made specifically for me. I am in my own lane. You can't do what I do. Just like I can't do what you do. Because what was made for you was made for you and only for you. The only difference is I chose to lay myself down while you chose to be arrogant and holier than thou. I didn't say that you are. I said you chose that because, and also because there's a difference between accusation and discipline. Accusation, both discipline and accusation, they condemn the action, but accusation condemns the person. Discipline comforts the person and calls them higher. There's a reason why in the word it says, His rod and His staff, they comfort me. His discipline comforts me. His correction comforts me. Because if you are His son, you will understand that He is a perfect father. And when He sees His sons out of alignment, He corrects them. He disciplines them. But it's, again, you will know that it is discipline when it renders something that is of the fruit of the Spirit. Remember that. And so going back, like the Lord is raising up those who've been faithful and obedient to correct these people, but to do it in a way that so honors them and respects them, but also shows them the severity of their actions. So this is not okay, and you are not going to do this anymore. Because you are not going to lead people astray. You are not going to allow these people to walk away from the Lord and allow them to think that this is who people in the church are, when it's not people in the church. It's just you, one arrogant human being, being arrogant and hateful and rude and mean. The Lord's not going to allow that anymore. He's not going to allow that anymore. He's not going to allow that anymore. Because He loves you too much to allow you to be angry and hateful and bitter and jealous towards somebody who just walked in the room, who didn't even open their mouth. He's going to show you, no, you still have things to work on. You have things that you need to be free of. And you have to stop adhering to this rhetoric, to these doctrines, to these things that are not biblical, that have been adapted in the church, that are actually more aligned with New Age. The Lord is saying that I am realigning you so you can walk upright. because you are not going to allow my sheep to be led astray anymore. I don't care if you don't like them. And I'm not interested in you not liking yourself and you taking it out on them. No, it's not going to happen anymore. You're going to walk upright, and you're going to be humble. And whomever is in front of you, you're going to treat them the way I would treat them. And you're going to treat them accordingly to what I say, not what you say. Because what you've shown, what the Lord says, and what you say are completely different. It's completely different. Anything else, Lord? Okay, but yeah, and then I see, like, the ones who have been faithful, who've been obedient, like, these testimonies really touching a lot of people and transforming a lot of lives. And I see a lot of lives saved, like, and not just, like, in a spiritual sense, but even in a physical sense. Another thing I've seen is just, like, your being faithful and obedient can save someone's life. It can save someone's life. Like, I know I've shared this story before, but, you know, I've heard a story where there was someone who was, you know, contemplating unaliving themselves. And they asked God, God, if you are real, you will bring someone in here and they will do a headstand next to his vending machine. Let me tell you, God brought someone in that place and did a headstand next to his vending machine. Save this person's life. That's how we need to think. When the Lord asks us to do things, when he says, I need you to do this, I need you to say this, I need you to be here at this time, in this hour, wearing this, looking like that, and I need you to say this to this person. Or I just need you there just to be there, to show up. You don't have to do anything. I just need your physical presence in this location. Did you realize that could save someone's life? Just you physically being in that location. Like, this is what it is. This is what this means. This is literally life or death. And it's not just salvation. It's literally life or death. It could be the difference between someone being here and being laid 6 feet under in a cemetery somewhere. To literally be praying for someone, to be contacting someone. And Lord, why you have me contacting them? Why you have me contacting this person? Why you have me talking to these people? He said, this is what I need you to do. Do not walk away. You will regret it. And then later, months later, Lord, tell me, if you had walked away like you wanted to, they would be dead right now. This is real. This is real talk. This is something that the Lord has shown me. This is something he's revealed to me. That if I chose to walk away from being in contact, communication with certain people, if I chose to, no, I don't, because I definitely wanted to. He said, no, you will regret it. And then later he said, they would be, this person, that person, whomever, they would be dead right now. I take this seriously. And you need to take this seriously. This is what faithfulness and obedience is. And just because you don't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. especially if you are someone who you believe in Christ, you believe in Jesus, you follow Jesus, and you are hearing my voice right now, and you believe that he is who he says he is, you know that faithfulness and obedience is the key to seeing his kingdom come to earth. And is the difference between life and death, the difference between someone standing in front of you or laid up 6 feet underground. I would rather have that person in my face being upset with me because I contacted them than them being 6 feet under in a cemetery because I chose just to walk away. And yeah, the Lord can heal things. He can, like, there's no condemnation for those. But can you imagine knowing that just you sending a text or making a phone call or just making yourself present on social media on someone's feed is a difference between them being alive versus being physically dead? We would take his voice more seriously. We would have more reverence for obedience and faithfulness to the Lord. And we would have more reverence toward obedience and faithfulness to each other. So, yeah, so I think we are done now. Thank you for those who did pop in and popped out real quick. I'm here. I did what I was supposed to do. So, love you guys, and I will talk to you later. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. And God bless.